The kid has a bright future. We are live. We have a great card this Saturday, 253. We got the return of one of my favorite fighters in UFC, Izzy Stylebender versus Paulo Costa. What a great matchup. Both those guys are, the two best guys in the division, in my opinion. And Kelton, what's up, my man?
What is up, bro? I'm so pumped about this card. I mean, you said it. Adesanya versus Costa. I mean, that's got to be my most anticipated middleweight title fight. Probably, I mean, man, I might be more pumped for this than I was for Izzy Whitaker. I mean, I'd probably have to go all the way back to when Whitaker fought Yoel Romero for the first time. This is like the most excited I've been since then. And then before that, bro, we got to crown a new light heavyweight champion, Dominic Reyes, who his only loss is to John Jones, and that was an extremely close fight that could have gone his way. And then you got Jan Blachowicz, who, other than Thiago Santos, is on just a fucking insane run, which a lot of people probably wouldn't have predicted that from early in his UFC career, where I think he started like 2-4, but dude, he's worked his way to a title shot. It's good to see. Pump for that one. And then the rest of the card is just amazing.
Yeah, man, it's a great card. Let's talk about last card. We'll do the same thing we always do. The first fight or the main event of the night, Colby versus Woodley. Domination, man. Colby looked like the same Colby. People are saying he's going to look washed and stuff. He has a chin issue because he got knocked out against Woodley. I think Colby's, a very, very, very elite fighter, and I do think that he deserves the winner of Burns and Usman. I hope it's. I mean, I don't care who it is, honestly. I mean, I probably lean Usman, but Burns is definitely live. And I mean, I think Colby beats both of them, man. I'm still high on Colby, man. I mean, Colby was beating Usman, man, until he got knocked out, and there was a couple controversial, those nut shots and all that stuff. But I can't take anything away. Usman is the champ for a reason, but I just think that Colby could beat him. Co-main event: Cerrone versus Nico Price. Great fight, man. If I would have bet on Nico Price, I would have been pissed because those eye pokes really fucking. Oh my god! I mean, Nico looked good in that fight. I mean, they both looked good, to be honest. But yeah, man, Nico would have won that fight if it wasn't for those eye pokes. I mean, do you agree with that?
I mean, yeah, he would have gotten 29-28 on two judges' scorecards. So, yeah.
Yes, I heard people saying that Cerrone won that fight. Nah, dude, Nico Price won. Next fight, we got Chimaev versus GM3. You know what, man? The kid is for real and stuff, but people need to relax and act like people are saying this guy can beat freaking Colby and stuff, and he's gonna be like, I hear people saying he's gonna beat Vettori and like these top guys at 185. Like, they got to slow the kid's roll. The guy's legit, but I mean, I don't know who they're gonna give him next. I mean, should they build him up or give him a really tough fight? Like, I mean, is he gonna fight at middleweight? Is he gonna fight at welterweight? I mean, I think he beats Maya, but I mean, if you're gonna tell me he's gonna beat Jeff Neal, I don't think so. I would definitely go with Jeff Neal in that fight. If you're gonna tell me he beats Leon Edwards, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I'd probably go with Edwards. If you're gonna tell me he beats Colby, no way. So I'm really curious to see what they do with him. I want to see him fight at 185, to be honest, and I think he deserves a guy in the top 15. Maybe give him Omari, Akhmadev, or maybe give him what's his name, Brad Tavares. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with him. GM3. I mean, he's been knocked out his last two fights, so we'll see where he goes from here. Johnny Walker versus Ryan Spann. I mean, I think it's safe to say, oh my god, man, if I would have bet on Walker, man, I mean, you cashed, that was a good bet, but I would have been shitting bricks, dude. I mean, I don't know if you should bet on Walker anymore, man. I don't know if we can bet on him anymore, man. The guy's chin is not that good, dude, but he has legit fucking power, man. I mean, those elbows were savage, and I mean, we both called it, dude. Ryan Spann's a quitter, man. I mean, he's kind of a fraud, dude. And I mean, Walker's more durable than Spann. That's how it is. He's been knocked out multiple times before. I mean, due to elbows too. I mean, Carl Roberson
the same exact way 3 times.
Did the same shit. So I mean, Walker was a good bet, but I mean, we got to be careful about like how we bet Walker if we want to bet Walker, because if he fights our boy John Mahal Hill, I mean, that's first round KO for John Mahal Hill. If he fights Jimmy Crute, that's first round finish for Jimmy Crute. So we'll have to see how they build him up. Next fight, Darren versus Marques. What else you want to say? I mean, domination by Darren. Kevin Holland versus Darren Stewart. Kevin Holland was super pissed about that fight, man, because he lost that third round. I thought he looked good in the first 2 rounds. His cardio is definitely a question mark. I mean, he gassed versus Brendan Allen. He's gassed before. I still think that he got the job done. I heard people saying that Darren Stewart won. I heard people saying that Holland should do a rematch with him. I don't think so. I mean, it's a good fight. Holland got the nod. I thought he clearly won the first 2 rounds. This is the fight that pisses me off. I wanted to bet on Dvorak all week. I didn't do it. I wanted plus money, didn't get it. He dominated Espinoza. I mean, it wasn't even a close fight. Dvorak is a good fighter in the division, and he legit dominated him. Espinoza is just, I'm not going to say he's a fraud, but he's not who I thought he was. I thought he was going to be a good prospect, and he's overrated, dude. Damon Jackson versus Backtick. I mean, if they give Backtick another fight, I mean, I say fade him versus whoever he fights. I mean, the guy is fucking one of the biggest fucking frauds of all time. He has no heart. He has no chin. He's terrible cardio. He's a quitter. I mean, that's it, dude. He's a huge quitter. I'm very happy that Damon Jackson won that fight because I've never really liked Backtick. And Damon Jackson, man, as much as you want to make fun of him and stuff for getting knocked out on PFL in like 10 seconds, the guy's talented, bro. And he trains at a good camp. And, I mean, I'm not going to make fun of him for getting knocked down 10 seconds. There's a lot of people and a lot of hate and, a lot of people say that, bro. I think he said after the fight that people were hitting him up saying that you're a jobber because you got knocked out. I mean, he got caught by a flying knee. Like, does the guy have a chin issue? I mean, has he been knocked out twice or once?
Wait, who are we talking about?
Damon Jackson. I think he's only been knocked out.
No, he's been knocked out a few times, bro.
Okay, so maybe he does have a chin issue, but I still think that the guy is pretty talented. So we'll see what happens. Myro Bueno Silva versus Barella. What else you want to say? I mean, Barella doesn't belong. Jesse Rose Clark versus Alpar. Yeah, Jesse, looked good. She got the win. Congrats to her. Alpar is a soccer mom. Derek Minner versus Laramie. Yeah, I mean, that's the way how Minner would have won the fight, man. First time submission. Laramie did not watch tape. I don't know what the hell is going on with him. He trains at fucking Extreme Couture. I feel like they should have told him, hey, watch out for this guy's choke because all he has is like 3 minutes and that's it. And Laramie fucking shot and just, oh my God, dude, that was a nasty fucking guillotine, dude. Man, dude, I mean, Minner's not a good fighter, but the guy's fucking ground game is legit, dude. I'm really curious to see what he give next because that guillotine was nasty, dude. And he should be fighting at 145, dude. I mean, that's his weight class. Costa versus Newsome, that was my only bet of the night. Yeah, dude, Costa went up there and looked really fucking good, man. I thought that the size would be a factor. I mean, Costa had a 7-inch reach advantage, and I just thought that he was too long for Newsome. And damn, dude, that head kick was nasty. Plus 3.45 units in the night, thanks to Costa. Yeah, good win for Costa. I heard Magic Moraes say on an interview with James Lynch that he thought that Costa could be a future champ. I mean, that's some really big words right there. And, I mean, Magic is a legit fighter. So saying that about Costa, I mean, Costa moving the top team was the best move the kid could ever do. He's 25 years old. You're training in one of the best camps. You're training with the best fighters in the world. I'm really curious to see what they give Costa next. And, I mean, the only thing I was worried about is if it got out of the first because Costa's only been out of the first once and he lost. But, I mean, that was his debut. That was against fucking a guy that usually fights at 45. So I think Costa has, a bright future. And Jordan Newsome, kind of like what I said on the podcast, I don't think he's good. I think he's a can, and I think he proved it. Andre Ewell versus Erwin Rivera. Yeah, I think Andre won the fight, but he clearly won the first 2 rounds. But, God, man, it's tough betting on that guy, man. I told you, man, like, there's something I like him, man, because he's from SoCal. He's just a fighter, dude. Like, I don't know what it is. He definitely won the fight. I mean, the split's fucking bullshit. He did not lose, but he lets people get back in the fight. I don't know what it is with him. Erwin Rivera, I mean, is tough. That's one thing I want to say about that kid. The guy has a really good chin, like by far. Like that guy's chin is fucking nasty. One of the best chins in the division. But I mean, to beat Ewell, you have to take him down, and it didn't really happen in this fight. So I got Ewell. Winning, fights that he should, and then losing fights that he should fucking. If he's going against a grappler, he's a fade. Last fight, Nam versus Rivera. I mean, honestly, dude, that first round was pretty close. I thought Rivera actually could have won that first round, but then Nam knocked him out. Nam saying he should fight Joe B. Nam, come on, dude. I mean, yeah, Joe B has no chin, but I mean, Tyson Nam, you should fight my boy David Dvorak, and I think we all know what happened there. So, all right, what about you, man?
Yeah, man, it was a really good card. Main event, Colby Covington did his thing, dominated the fight. I mean, dominant, like really fucking dominant. And yeah, there were people bringing up maybe his chin won't be the same, yada yada. And I don't really think that question was answered just because we got our typical Tyron who barely threw, barely landed. It was just it was a complete mismatch. So good win for Colby. Tyron Woodley, man. I mean, yikes. I mean, I hate to tell guys to retire, especially former champions. I mean, multiple defending champion too in Tyron Woodley, but fuck, man. I mean, what has he lost 15 rounds in a row now? He's got to either take a big step down in competition, not even that big step down, like just fight like someone ranked between like 13 and 15. Even then, that'd probably be a tough fight. I mean, the guys they don't come to mind right away, but still, anyone in the top 15 is a tough fight for Woodley at this point. So, yeah, he's definitely got some things to think about. Donald Cerrone looked way better than I thought he would. I almost bet on Nico via TKO/KO, which, yeah, that would have lost, man. Donald Cerrone's chin looked a lot better than I thought it would, and dang, dude, the way that first round was looking, like Nico was just, I mean, he was on point. Nico Price is improving. I thought it was it was a good performance from both guys, honestly. Yeah, if it wasn't for the eye poke, Nico would have got the decision, rightfully so. But I'm cool with seeing a draw here, and even Nico Price was cool with the draw. So I guess it worked out for all parties involved. Hamzat Chimaev, dude, absolutely dusts Gerald Mearshart like badly. 17 seconds. I mean, basically just stalked him down and knocked him out with the fucking first punch he landed. The guy has big power. And he's doing that to middleweights too, man. Imagine if he lands that kind of power on some of these welterweights. It's like, damn, this guy is such a fucking problem. I just can't wait to see who he fights next. I kind of don't want it to be Damian Maia. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Damian Maia wouldn't win that fight. Chimaev's wrestling is really fucking good. He'd probably just be able to stuff like Kamaru and Colby and Tyron and all those guys have done over the years to Damian Maia. He'd probably just stuff and knock Damian Maia out rather easily. So I don't want to see that. I want to see a really tough matchup for Hamzat. Johnny Walker, dude. This was the one that gave me the winning night. I had 3 units on Johnny Walker at minus 120, and damn, dude, it was looking sketchy for a minute there. But yeah, I mean, fact of the matter is, when Johnny Walker got knocked down, he got back up. When Ryan Spann got hurt, he didn't get back up. So props to Johnny Walker. I will probably never bet him again unless he's a big dog. And then you always got to look at doesn't go to decision for Johnny Walker fights, even though they're probably going to be always really wide lines. It's like, I mean, he's the definition of a glass cannon. Let's be honest. The guy really does not react well to getting punched. And then on the other side, he has insane power. So, yeah, I think it was kind of a crazy anomaly that Johnny Walker versus Krylov fight went to decision. But I guess that just speaks on the game plan that Krylov put in that night. Mackenzie Dern and Randa Marcos, like, yeah, dude, like, what the fuck, Randa Marcos? Like, that fight didn't have to hit the mat. Like, I'd have to watch it again, but I just remember the fight hitting the mat due to, I'd have to watch it again, man, but I know it didn't hit the mat because of a Mackenzie Dern takedown. It was just kind of like Randa kind of fell to her back or some stupid shit. Randa Marcos is a jobber, bro. Mackenzie Dern, amazing BJJ. Props to her for the armbar. It was pretty fucking nasty. So, yeah, can't wait to see who Mackenzie gets next. Randa Marcos, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, not a good look. Kevin Holland, Darren Stewart. I thought Holland clearly won. I don't know what that split decision's all about, but yeah, Kevin Holland continues to go on a really nice run. And he's another guy who can bounce back and forth between middleweight and welterweight. I kind of want to see him at welterweight, though, to be honest. I think that is where he'll, have probably the best shot at top 5, anything like that. So good win for him, and not a terrible loss for Darren Stewart. Man, it was looking bad for Darren Stewart there for a little bit. When he lost to fucking Bartosz Fabinski in Cage Warriors, like that was a horrible look. But since then, he submitted Maki Pitolo in the first round and then went to split decision with Kevin Holland. So props to Darren Stewart for staying on course and putting up these good performances. David Dvorak versus Jordan Espinoza. I'm with you, man. I almost bet Dvorak as well, and he comes out and wins 30-27s across the board. He looked like a much better fighter. The kicks were on point. Just a striking overall movement. Like, dude's really fucking good, and I can't wait to see who he gets next. Damon Jackson and Mirsad Bektic, dude. This is where I dodged a bullet, man. I would have had a losing night. I almost made a parlay on fight day of Mirsad Bektic and Mayra Bueno Silva. And man, Bektic, this is a story of the guy. He comes out strong and then gets finished late. And I really didn't think it would happen here because, the problem with him is the chin. And Damon Jackson, let's be honest, is pretty harmless on the feet. But, yeah, he got caught in the sub in the third round. And props to Damon Jackson. He is a very good BJJ grappler. He's got a super strong squeeze. And, man, he just earned his way back into the UFC. I'm sure he's going to get a decent contract after a win like that. So props to him. Mirsad Bektic, I've said it before, man. Back in the day in like 2014, I actually called this guy a future champ. So, yeah, it's pretty safe to say this guy's literally one of the biggest bust prospects I've ever seen. And, yeah, it's sad to say because legitimately, skill for skill, he's one of the best fighters in the division. It's just, I don't know, man. It just doesn't click. He chokes in these fights. He's chinny. And he slows down the later the fight goes. So it's just not a good look. We'll see where he goes from here, though. Mayra Bueno Silva easily submits Barella. That was a big-time mismatch. Thanks to Bueno Silva, I went big on her in DraftKings. Jessica Rose Clark, Sarah Alpar. Dude, Sarah Alpar shouldn't be in the UFC. It's as simple as that. So you got one girl who's bottom of the division UFC, and then one girl who shouldn't even be in the UFC. And turns out the bottom of the division was a lot better than the girl who shouldn't be in the UFC. And, holy shit, dude. She put on a clinic. Striking, grappling, wrestling. You name it. She beat the fuck out of this girl, and the referee really messed up by letting her take extra damage. The fight just should have been called. So, yeah, props to Jessica Rose. Derek Minner and TJ Laramie. Fuck, man. I had TJ Laramie in a parlay. This one hurt because going into this, I had won 8 straight bets all in a row. And then I got TJ Laramie diving straight into the guillotine from Derek Minner. And, it's no secret. Everybody who does an MMA podcast basically said Derek Minner is probably round 1 sub or bust. Obviously, his grappling is his best trait, and he slows down huge after round 1. So it was pretty obvious sub round 1 was his path to victory. And fuck, man, TJ Laramie gets caught in that shit in less than a minute. Is what it is. He'll be back. He's still an amazing prospect. Can't take too much away from the guy just for getting caught in a guillotine by a guillotine artist. So really, TJ Laramie actually doesn't really lose any stock for me. If anything, Derek Minner gains some stock. Derek Minner, he's dangerous, man. If you're not careful in that first round, he's going to snatch you up. He just needs to work on that cardio. Luckily for him, it just didn't get there. Randy Costa knocked out Journey Newsome. I'll give you huge props on that one, man. Not only was Randy Costa a great bet and made it look easy, he was the underdog there, which, it's kind of crazy. It was probably just based on the fact that he had like 6 pro fights going into that fight. It's not a good look whenever he gets past the first round. Luckily, again, it didn't happen. So sometimes these round 1 guys end up, winning their fights in round 1, even at the UFC level. So props to him. Andre Ewell, he was the other part of that parlay with TJ Laramie. I thought Ewell clearly won the fight. I don't know what the fuck the judges were smoking. I thought you could have easily scored it for Andre Ewell 30-27 even. So the fact that Irwin Rivera got 2 rounds, I thought that was disgusting. But Andre Ewell shouldn't even have made it that close with that guy. I mean, man, it's crazy because like Andre Ewell, he's like a great size for the division. He's a great striker. It's just, man, I don't know. Like I thought this was just going to be a picture perfect matchup for him. Like he's so much bigger, better athlete than Erwin Rivera, way better striker in my opinion. But like, I don't know, the fact that he made it that close with that guy and what, in my opinion, is a perfect matchup for Andre Ewell. I mean, personally, I will never probably bet him as a favorite ever again after that. But glad he came through for me. And then the first fight of the night, there was the winner for me. I had Tyson Nam at minus 145. He knocked out Jerome Rivera. I just knew this kid wasn't ready for a guy like Tyson Nam. And yeah, Justin's right. Jerome looked pretty good in that first round, but man, I mean, he needed more than that, man. He needed more than that, that's for sure. Tyson Nam, you know, he started to put it together, figured out this guy's timing range, and put the lights out. So congrats to Tyson Nam, and it was my 7th winning event in a row. I profited 1.5 units, so let's get it. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, man, we didn't get a lot of views when we did our first fantasy football kind of like breakdown before Sunday, but I'm down to do it this Sunday. Let us know in the comments. We might have to advertise it more, but I mean, this is a big sport, man, for us, and we love fantasy football. So we're down to do it every Sunday. If you guys want us to do it, please let us know right now or let us know in the comments because we have fun talking about fantasy football for an hour before the games. I mean, I went 6-1 after I did that. Last week I went 4-3, so I'm down to do it. You down to do it this Sunday?
I work this Sunday, but maybe we could do it on Saturday. Like Saturday morning.
I can't do Saturday, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, here we'll talk off air, but yeah, well, we'll see. But if anything, we'll just do it the next Sunday. I'll let you know off air if we can do Saturday. I just have to. I don't think so as of right now. So there's a lot of injuries happening, man. But yeah, let's talk about this card, man. First fight of the night, we got. Oh my god, this is the ultimate fucking jobber fight. We got Ibragimov versus Danilo Marques. I know that we both feel different about this fight. Obviously, I'm pretty sure we both have the same person. I do have Ibragimov winning the fight. I mean, the guy's 0-3 in the UFC, but I mean, he's fought better competition. If you watch tape on Marques, this guy does not belong. This guy's terrible. Then again, Ibragimov doesn't belong either. I do think that he is the better fighter, but I would never bet on this fight. I would never bet on Ibragimov in the spot. I wouldn't do it. I can't. I don't care if he's minus 120-ish. I'm not doing it, dude, just because this fight is a total pass. I do think he's going to win, but I can never say with confidence that I'm picking Ibragimov to win a fight. Marques is dog shit, but I mean, Ibragimov is also dog shit. But I think Ibragimov is the better striker. I think that he has good pressure, but he has really bad cardio. Marques, I mean, you watch tape on him. The guy has fought literally nobody. I mean, guys with really bad records, and he's just not good at all. So I'll go to Ibragimov. Not confident. Who you got?
Yeah, man. This dude Danilo Marques is yikes. It's not a good look, man. And really, the only thing that's stopping me from betting on Hadis Ibragimov is the fact that it's Hadis Ibragimov, man. I mean, the guy has not looked good in the UFC. He gasses. He's sloppy. Even in his last fight, he tried to be a little more patient and take a different approach, and he still got fucking smoked in the first round. Now, Roman Dolidze is a really good striker. I mean, we're talking miles and levels and miles above Danilo Marques striking. But yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this is a huge step down from Dawodu Jung, Ed Herman, Ed Herman's a longtime vet. He just got a good win over Mike Rodriguez. Dawodu Jung is a great prospect, and Dolidze is a great prospect too. And that's a complete opposite with Danilo Marques is, man. I mean, the only thing he really has going for him, I guess, is his height. He's 6'6" with a pretty long reach. It's just really fucking doesn't matter because he doesn't know how to use it on the feet. I mean, his best attribute is his grappling, but like I watched some of these fights and he's not even able to get it there against some really low fighters. Like I watched his fight against Myron Dennis in LFA. That was the first one I watched, and like, fuck, man, if you haven't seen that fight, you lucked out because it was a terrible fucking fight. He looked so slow. He wanted to get the fight to the mat, but like, I don't think he knows how to wrestle. Like, I don't know, it's just really bad. I'll be honest, Caddis should probably be in the minus 200s here. Just the reason you're getting minus 150 is because he's 0-3 in the UFC and has holes in his game. But I'm going to come out here and pick Caddis by devastating first round knockout. Not going to bet him. It's just hard to do that on a guy like that at minus 150. But on DraftKings, I think Caddis might be a pretty good play. I mean, I think this guy could end up being the highest scorer of the night just based on the caliber of opponent he's fighting. So Caddis, Ibragimov, first round knockout.
Yeah, man. Next fight, we got Juan Ospino versus Jeff Hughes. Who you got in there?
Yeah, man. I got Juan Espino here in a parlay. I really like this fight for him, man. I mean, obviously the concern on him is he hasn't fought in a while. I think he hasn't fought, let's see, November 2018, so a little less than 2 years. But the thing is, I know he's coming off a layoff. He's the older fighter here. But actually, I mean, he is the better athlete than Jeff Hughes. I do think he's the more skilled guy. I think he's just the overall stronger guy. I think he's just going to be able to get the fight to where he wants it. Obviously, that's the grappling. He's a really good grappler out of American Top Team. Really ran through that season of The Ultimate Fighter, made all those guys look pretty bad. He was clearly the best fighter out of there. And, I mean, Jeff Hughes, yikes, man. I mean, he not looked good in the UFC. I mean, lost a decision against Maurice Green. No idea how that was a split. I thought Green clearly won. Todd Duffy, I mean, it looked like Jeff Hughes was going to take over in that fight, but, like, that's not saying much because Todd Duffy was coming off like a fucking 4-year layoff and was known for awful cardio in the first place. So I wouldn't look too much into that. If anything, you could just say that Hughes has a good chin, which he does. I know he was knocked out before, but for the most part, he's got a good chin. And then the Pessoa fight, Pessoa, we just saw in his last fight against Tanner Boser. The guy is just way too slow, not that skilled, probably not even UFC caliber. And I'm going to come out and say I think Jeff Hughes is not UFC caliber either. I mean, another thing I'll say, he has decent takedown defense as well, but, like, I'm not too worried about it, man. I just think Juan's going to come out here and do his thing. Despite being 39 years old, I think he is got the higher ceiling here. So I'm pretty confident in Juan. Even if he isn't able to get the fight down, I think he can outstrike Jeff Hughes as well. I mean, Jeff Hughes is just, I don't want to disrespect the guy. I'm just going to say Juan Ospino by a clear decision or a sub.
Yeah, man, this is a weird fight because Espino hasn't fought in a long time. I mean, he's a good grappler, but his striking is not that good. A lot of people thought this guy could make some waves in the division, but, I mean, he's just always hurt, dude, and he's pretty old as well. He looked good on The Ultimate Fighter, but, yeah, Jeff Hughes, I mean, there are some people out there that think he's live here. Personally, I've never been really sold on Jeff Hughes. I thought that the fight with the Croquet Boss in the rematch, I thought that was a pretty close fight. I actually thought that Hughes could have won that, but, I mean, they gave it to Green. Hughes is tough. He likes to go forward, and, his grappling's not that bad. He has good takedown defense, but I don't know. I'll go with Espino, but I would never play it. Next fight, I think that I have my first play of the night. Let me check real quick. I'm pretty sure I do. Yes, we do. We have Alexa Camur versus William Knight. I have 3 units on Knight at plus 150. This is my first play. I think it's a good play for Knight, man. I see a lot of people sleeping on him, thinking that he's not UFC material. I think the guy has a bright future, and he can definitely win a good amount of fights in the division. I think that he hits way too hard for Camur. I think that he has more power. I think he has a speed advantage. He's more explosive. He's more athletic. He also has a wrestling background in high school, so I think it's going to be kind of tough for Camur to get him down. I mean, yeah, Brundage got him down and hit him with some big shots, but Brundage has a good background. I mean, Camur, he's pretty green. I know he trained with Stipe, but I just don't think he can go out there and out-grapple Knight and take him down. I think that he's going to have to strike with him on the feet. And if you watch the fight of Justin Ledet, that was a very uneventful fight. I watched it multiple times. I mean, I bet on Ledet. I thought Ledet could have won that fight if he actually had more activity, because if you watch the fight, Ledet landed the harder shots. It's just Camur had more volume, but Ledet looked like he didn't want to be out there in that fight. I mean, Ledet legit would have won if he threw more volume. He hurt him multiple times. So I don't know what was going on. Ledet does not have power. He has leg kicks. He has a good jab. Knight is a KO artist. I mean, all Knight's wins are by KO, dude. His only loss is against the guy from Contender Series. If you watch that fight, that was a bad stoppage, dude. A really bad stoppage. I don't think they should have stopped that. I mean, he's just too fast for this kid, man. He's just too fast. Camur's still green. You could say Knight's a little green too, but he's improving every fight. I think he has a good chin. I think he has nasty elbows. He has a good right hand. And I think he's going to hurt him, man, really bad early in the fight. And if Wadet's going out there and wobbling this kid, what the hell do you think William Knight's going to do? I got William Knight, first round KO.
Yeah, this is a really tough one for me to call. Pre-tape, like looking at the lines for the very first time on this card, that William Knight plus 150 actually by far was the one that stood out to me the most. But got to be honest, man, I think this might be a winnable fight for Alexa Camur. I do think it is still a dog or pass situation. But, man, I can see Camur coming out here and just avoiding the big power and outstriking William Knight on the feet here, voluming him. I think he's faster. I just think if this fight were to go 15 minutes, he'd be the one to land more and arguably get takedowns as well. William Knight can get taken down. Thing is, I mean, I wouldn't pay the minus 150, minus 160 on Camur here. He's only 6-0. It's scary to fade William Knight, a guy with that kind of power. It's just a really tough fight for me to call, man. So, I don't know who I want to pick here, to be honest. I mean, from a betting perspective, I wish you luck. It's definitely William Knight or pass, but I'll be different. I'm going to go with Alexa Camur and say he edges out a 29-28 split decision. I mean, he's still getting better every fight. 6-0. I mean, you can say he's green, but on the other hand, you can also say he's going to be getting better every fight, especially training with a guy like Stipe. So I'll go with Camur to edge it out, but I don't hate your play at all.
Yeah, man. So next fight, man, we got a really good fight, man. We got Shane Young versus how do you pronounce this kid's name?
Ludovic Klein.
Ludovic Klein. I know how to pronounce Klein. I just didn't know how to pronounce his first name. Who do you got in this one?
Oh man. So I don't know how it ended up being my last fight to watch on tape, but I just watched tape on this one 2 hours ago. I've been a fan of Shane Young for a long time, man. I like his style. He's super aggressive in there. He throws a shit ton of volume. He's super exciting. He made his UFC against Alexander Volkanovski, which, I mean, holy shit. I mean, to fight that guy in your first UFC fight. Since then, he's come back, had some good wins, looked impressive in there. I mean, just a volume from this guy. He throws a shit ton. I love watching Shane Young fight. I'm a fan of the guy. And then I jump into tape on this dude, Ludovic Klein. I see that he's 16-0. I know it's going to be a tough fight, or 16-2, my bad. I know it's going to be a tough fight against this guy for sure. But then I dig into tape, and man, this guy is good, bro. He's a really good striker. It's going to be interesting because he's definitely a lot more patient than Shane Young. I actually think stylistically, I think Shane Young's volume and the amount of strikes he throws, I think that's going to give Ludovic Klein, who's mostly a counter striker, I think that's going to give him a lot of fucking problems. I think Klein eventually is going to actually catch Shane Young and knock him out. He's got really good head kicks. He's got good hands. Even on the mat, I've seen him land a couple submissions. Now, I would say, if anything, when it comes to a weakness on Ludovic Klein, it probably would be his grappling. He did take a submission loss to Aiden Lee in Cage Warriors a little less than 3 years ago. So I actually think Shane Young's best path to victory here is going to be the wrestling. It's just that's just not who he is, though, man. I know he's landed a couple takedowns in the UFC, but he doesn't win these wrestling-based decisions. I just view that as kind of low percentage. And then on the feet, I just think his style is going to lead to him getting caught. So I actually have no idea why he's the favorite here. I got Ludovic Klein. I think he's going to knock out Shane Young in the first round. And I put 3 units on him at plus 100. I think he's a very live underdog. Big props to anyone who looked into this fight way earlier in the week and got plus 150, plus 140. Great line. I think any plus money is a great line, though. I think Ludovic Klein shines in his UFC debut here, man.
Yeah, we actually both messed up with the line because, I mean, he was plus 140 for, when the fight dropping all that in the odds. And I mean, I watched tape a couple days ago, and I told you that I thought Klein was going to win, and I like him. I'm going to bet him, and then now he got steamed. I can still get plus 100 at Red Rock, and that's probably what I'm going to do. I just think that he's a good striker. He has a great straight left. I mean, he has 15 wins by finish. This kid's a finisher, dude. He's only has 2 losses, and I mean, one was by sub, one was in 2017 by TKO. He's too technical for Shane Young. I just think that he hits way harder, more volume. Shane Young is aggressive fighter. He likes to come forward. He gets hit a lot, though, man. If you watch the fights with Austin Arnett, I thought he actually lost around Austin Arnett, and you losing rounds to Austin Arnett, it's pretty bad, bro. I mean, Klein wouldn't lose any rounds to Austin Arnett, I'll tell you that right now. Klein would go out there and finish that kid in the first round. But yeah, man, you can't ignore Young. The guy trains at a great camp. He's going to be training with Riddell and Izzy. I like his style too, man. He has really good pressure. He's aggressive, dude. He is a really good chin, man. That's the thing with Shane Young, really good chin, but he's a punching bag. I do think that he needs to go out there and take down Klein. I know the Sajewski took down Klein, but I mean, that was barely. I mean, Klein got right back up, and that's Sajewski's game, bro. He's a grappler, but he's not really that good. Klein legit knocked him out bad, dude. That was nasty, dude. Yeah, I got Klein winning this fight. I'll probably be betting him. Stay tuned to my Twitter.
Bro, he's got some really gnarly knockouts. Did you see the one against the Brazilian like 2 or 3 fights ago?
With the head kick?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of tape on Klein out there. Yeah, he's good, man. He's only 25 years old.
Guy's a legit KO artist. Like, I'm so happy he's in UFC, and I have no idea how I never heard about him before this fight.
Yeah, I like that other kid that's fighting pretty soon. What is it, Gamrot or who?
Oh, Mateus Gamrot from KSW.
Yeah, that guy. I wonder if he's the dog, bro. That guy's in a. Oh man, that guy. Who's he fighting again?
I don't fucking remember. I just remember that he fought Norman Park 3 times in KSW, and the first fight was good, and then I think the second and the third were both kind of boring. But if I'm not mistaken, he won 2 of them, and then one was a draw or something like that. He's a good fighter.
I forget who he's fighting, but I know that he got signed. Let me check real quick, because I'm pretty sure he has a fight lined up. Yeah, he's fighting Mustafayev, so that's gonna be a great fight.
Who's he fighting?
Shit, Mustafayev.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a tough one.
It's a good fight, but I actually lean Gamrot, man, to be honest. Mustafayev should not be fighting at 55, bro. He's pretty small. I like Gamrot. Speaking of Mustafayev, we'll be talking about him in a couple fights. Next fight, we got Diego Sanchez versus Jake Matthews. This is a very quick breakdown for me. I got Jake Matthews. That's it. I have nothing else to say. Diego Sanchez should not be fighting in the UFC. I wouldn't bet Jake Matthews at this line, but he should win the fight. I mean, Matthews is better everywhere. I got Jake Matthews, first round finish.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, we all know where Diego Sanchez is at this point in his career. I mean, not only is he looking shinny and slower, I mean, he's being coached by a complete fucking fraud. So it's like, I mean, you can't even trust Diego whatsoever, like when it comes to his skill set at this point, or even his game plan, his coaching. Like, it's just all a fucking mess for Diego Sanchez, to be honest. I know he's pulled out a couple wins. I know he, the Pajeo was a DQ. We all know that wasn't really a win, but his most recent wins, if you want to look at them, he was able to finish Mickey Gall. That was just a huge cardio issue for Mickey Gall. I don't think you're going to see that at Jake Matthews. And then the one before that was Craig White, who, I mean, Craig White is arguably one of the worst fighters to be in the UFC in the last few years. So this is definitely a tough one. I think Jake Matthews is rightfully minus 700 here. And if you can get plus money on that Jake Matthews wins inside the distance, I don't hate that. I mean, the kid can crack. He's got some good finishes in the UFC. I remember the Shinzo Anzai one comes to mind the first. Oh, that's actually the only one he's got in a long time. Yeah, Jake Matthews is pretty much a decisionator, to be honest. So I don't know. Maybe hold off on that Matthews in the distance. Just pass on this fight altogether, to be honest.
Let me say real quick, I mean, I've been pretty hard on Matthews. I mean, I call him Flake Matthews. I mean, I've never really been high on him. I legit love that fade that I did with Tony Rocco Martin. But he's improved, man. And the kid is really young. I don't think he's a jobber. I thought he was a fraud. I mean, he's improved. He should beat Diego Sanchez, and he should make it look easy. So if he doesn't get a finish, I'll be shocked. But I mean, he didn't even finish that one dude with the guy that looked like a bear, fucking Rostam Akman. I mean, that was and he didn't even really look that good in that fight. So we'll see if Matthews can finish Sanchez. Speaking of really good fights, next fight we got Brad Riddell versus Alex Silva. Who you got in this one?
Oh man, this is a really fucking tough one. We were just talking about Mustafayev. Mustafayev actually knocked out, or Mustafayev lost to Brad Riddell. That was a really good win for Brad Riddell because Mustafayev was coming off the knockout win over Fiziev. Mustafayev is a really fucking dangerous guy. So the fact that Riddell handled him the way he did, that was a good performance, man. Brad Riddell, he's a great prospect, amazing striker. His takedown defense looked really good, and that's going to be the key to this one against Alex Laco da Silva is the takedown defense because I like Alex da Silva as well. I've actually bet him in the past. He's a really good prospect of his own, man. I mean, 21-2. He's got almost 3 times the MMA experience as Brad Riddell, and you look at Brad Riddell, his one loss, his one MMA loss, he got taken down and armbarred. But he was 3-1 or some shit at that point. He's definitely improved. So although I really do like Alex Laco da Silva, and I think he does have a good future of his own, it's hard for me to pick him here. Brad Riddell most likely is going to be able to stuff those shots, and I'm going to say he outstrikes him over 3 rounds to a 30-27 decision.
Yeah, man. First fight of the main card, we got Hakeem Ottawa versus Tukihugov. I'll let you go first in this one because I believe you have a play.
I sure do have a play, man. So this is a really good fight. I've bet on both these guys in the past as well. Hakeem Dawodu, he's definitely bounced back since that really terrible UFC debut against Danny Henry where he was dropped and guillotined pretty much immediately. Since then, unanimous decision over Austin Arnett, who not a good fighter. Kyle Bochniak, decision over him, but he got taken down in that fight a couple times, I think. And I mean, dude, you shouldn't be going to a split decision with Kyle Bochniak. And then his next fight, complete cupcake in Yoshinori Horii. Knocked him out in the 3rd round. Did they even give Yoshinori Horii a second chance in the UFC, bro? They knew what was up with that guy. And that was, I believe it was a short notice replacement. So not the best 3 wins, but I'll say this, in his last fight against Julio Arce, that's definitely his best win for sure. Arce is no slouch whatsoever. Again, though, he did get taken down at one point. Arce made it close. It was a split decision. Man, here against Zubair Tukihugov, though, this is like a big step up, in my opinion. Tukihugov is a very good prospect. He's like 4 or 5-1, 4 or 5-1 in the UFC. Only loss, split decision against Renato Moicano, who at that time was one of the biggest, baddest featherweights around. He's since moved up to lightweight. And then I took a little bit of a layoff. He came back against Lerone Murphy. I mean, there was definitely questions of rust in that fight, but shit, dude, he didn't look rusty at all. He came out strong in that 1st round. He got 6 takedowns in that fight. I mean, dude, Tukihugov won that fight. Let's be honest here. I know it was a draw, and I'm pretty surprised that they scored it a draw, especially since that was in front of the Abu Dhabi judges. But, it was a draw. And then in his next fight, Kevin Aguilar knocked him out in the 1st round easily. Keep in mind, guys, this wasn't the fat Kevin Aguilar that you saw against Charles Rosa. This is the 17-2 Kevin Aguilar who had wins, knockout win over Damon Jackson, knockout win over Tom Lee, good wins over Rick Glenn and Enrique Barzola. And Zubair Tukihugov handled him to a fucking point, man. I mean, he starched him easily. And in my opinion here, man, and Hakeem Dawodu, this guy doesn't react well to getting hit. And I know we talked about Johnny Walker is a huge flopper. I've seen Hakeem Dawodu flop around before too, man. And I don't think he's going to like the power of Zubair Tukihugov at all. I actually do think when it comes to their striking skills, it's pretty evenly matched. But I would say Tukihugov has way more of a finish upside. He's the way more durable guy. I think he's the more powerful guy. So I mean, if this fight stays standing for 15 minutes, I think it ends up being like a really razor split decision, but I actually don't think that's how it's going to go, man. I think either Tukihugov is going to come in here and get that knockout, or he can also resort to the wrestling here, man. Like I said, Dawodu was taken down 2 or 3 times by Kyle Bochniak. He definitely has a hole in his game there. And Tukihugov has good wrestling, man. He actually averages about 3 takedowns a fight. Like I said, got 6 against Lerone Murphy. Looked way better wrestling and grappling against Lerone Murphy than Ricardo Ramos did, who Ricardo Ramos is supposed to be like a legit fucking, black belt and a good wrestler, but Tukihugov looked way better wrestling against Murphy than he did. Tukihugov is just super well-rounded, man. I like this guy a lot. I think this is a very good fight for him. I'm going to say he wins by first-round knockout, but I'm cool with the wrestling-based decision as well. And I got 3 units on him at -112.
Yeah, I got to disagree with you. I mean, first off with the matchup, but also I got to disagree with you with the Kevin Aguilar analysis. I mean, I don't think that's a good win at all. I mean, to be honest, Dan Ige fucking changed that guy's life, dude. I mean, to be honest, Barzola even hurt him in the 3rd round, dude. Barzola doesn't hurt anyone, man. Aguilar, he used to be a good man, but he's washed, dude. I mean, Ige changed that guy's life, dude. So saying that he went out there and got a KO in the 1st round, I mean, Ottawa would have done the same thing, dude. Ottawa, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I thought this kid was a fraud. When he fought Danny Henry, and I bet on Danny Henry, I thought he was a fraud. He got dropped and got tapped out really fast, man. But then when you watch the tape on him and see how much this kid's improved, dude, I mean, this guy is a good prospect in the division, man. I think he's too technical, man, for Zabara. I think Zabara is a good striker. I think Zabara is a good fighter. I think that he has advantages here. I think that he's a good wrestler. I thought that the fight with Murphy was a good nod. I thought that was a draw. I thought that Murphy looked good in that fight. And I know a lot of people say that Zabara won the fight. Personally, I thought that Murphy won the fight. But Murphy's a good fighter, bro. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't think Murphy won the fight. I just said it should have been a draw. I do think it should have been a draw. So I don't think Murphy won. But saying that shouldn't have been a draw, I see 50-50 results in that fight. But I think I do think that Murphy did enough to get the draw. But in this matchup, man, Hakeem has a speed advantage. He is more technical on the feet. He has a lot of weapons on the feet. He has a good jab, a good right hand. He's really big for the weight class. He's probably one of the biggest fucking featherweights out there. I think Zabara has good striking, but I don't think it compares to Hakeem's striking. I really don't. I think that he's relentless. I think he has good pressure, and he's going to have to back up Hakeem. But Hakeem can strike going backwards. I think that he has to go up there and take this kid down. We've seen Hakeem get taken down in the UFC, but he gets right back up. I mean, if you watch the tape on him before the UFC, Siler's going out there and taking his back and all that stuff. But, I mean, he's improved a lot since then, man. I got Hakeem here, man. I think that he's going to win a decision. I think he's just going to technique Zabaru on the feet. I'm not betting him, even though he is plus money now. I can't do it just because it's in a high Dhabi, and I think that Zabaru definitely has a grappling advantage. It could definitely take him down, but I don't think he can hold down Hakeem. So I'm going to go with Hakeem. I'll go with the unanimous decision, 29-28. So next fight, we got Ketlin Viera, I believe, versus Sajara Eubanks. This is a good fight, man. I said that Viera was a future champ, man, a couple years ago. And boy, was I wrong, man. I was 100% wrong. She's talented, though. I do think she's one of the best fighters in the division. But, I mean, Aldana went out there and fucking knocked her out. Whew! Cold. Speaking of Aldana, dude, she's going to beat the fuck out of Holly Holm. So I can't wait till she hits plus money. But anyways, on this matchup, Eubanks is – I mean, I even said going into the Avila fight, I thought that she was live, and I thought that, she looked way, way better, man, versus Cheesecake. And I know that Cheesecake is a tough chick, but she's a fraud. But if you watch the tape on her in that fight, Eubanks' striking looked good, man. I mean, Eubanks didn't even gas in that fight. I mean, she looked good. And you watch the fight with Avila, she looked good too, man. I mean, Avila was the one that was gassing. So Eubanks is not the fighter that fought Petchkohe, man. I actually think she beat Petchkohe. I thought that was a robbery, but it was still a close fight. But on this matchup, dude, I think it's kind of a tough fight for Eubanks. I mean, I think that she has to go out there and take down Ketlin Viera. But, I mean, Ketlin's a really tough chick to take down, and she's a fucking black belt, BJJ. Just ask Arabic, man. I mean, that was a nasty fucking submission. And I think that Ketlin Viera is simply too big for Eubanks, bro. Ketlin Viera is one of the biggest bantamweights in the division. She could fight featherweight, bro. I think she has good striking. She has good boxing. I've been high on her for a while. She got caught against Aldana, but Aldana's one of the best strikers in the division. I mean, she's improved, dude. I think Kelton Viera is a better striker. I think she's gonna keep it on the feet, and I think that she's just gonna wear down Eubanks and win her decision.
Yeah, man. I mean, going into this fight, I mean, I'll be honest, I really wanted to fade Kelton Viera after taking that devastating knockout loss. I mean, we know some fighters never come back the same after shit like that, and that was a tough one, man. And then on the other side, Ciara Eubanks is somebody I would definitely be open to betting on because I thought her last performance against Julia Avila, who is a good prospect, that was a great performance, man. But when you really think about it, this is a tough one for Ciara Eubanks, in my opinion. I mean, she's not going to out. I think Kelton is probably a little better on the feet. Although I mean, Ciara could make it close. I mean, Kelton's no fucking great striker by any means. I just think she's a little better there. Ciara's probably going to want to get this fight to the mat. I mean, that's her bread and butter, and that's Kelton Viera's bread and butter too, man. I just think she's going to be, like Justin said, I thought he nailed it. She's just too big, too strong. She most likely stuffs, maybe even gets takedowns of her own, or outstrikes Ciara Eubanks. I mean, what's the odds? -170, +150 right now. I mean, I guess I would say Ciara Eubanks are passed at +150 or better, but personally, I'm going to pass. I'm going to say Kelton Viera comes out here, bounces back, 29-28, unanimous decision.
Next fight, man. I see people in the chat right now talking about Aldana and Holm. I mean, we'll talk about the next week, but I'm really confident in that fight, man. I really think that Aldana's going to win. I need her to hit plus money, but she has good takedown defense, bro. People are acting like Holm's going to go out there and take her down at will. I mean, this isn't Megan Anderson, bro. So, I mean, I still think Raquel Pennington's a better grappler than Holm, and that was a close fight, dude. Aldana could have won that fight. She just, I don't know, man. That fight kind of pisses me off, dude. I bet on Aldana. Aldana should have fucking won. There's just the grappling, bro, with Aldana or with Rocky in that one round. But I mean, knocking out Viera like that, dude, impressive. And I think she's gonna really hurt Holly Holm next week. So next fight, Kai Kara France versus Brandon Royval. Who you got?
Yeah, man, this is going to be the other half of my parlay with Juan Espino. I got Kai Kara France in this fight. Yeah, I'm just not that high on Brandon Royval. I know he came out, made his UFC debut against a former title challenger and Tim Elliott, and he was able to submit him in the second round. But, like, I mean, dude, how many fucking times has Tim Elliott been caught at this point? Like, a million times. The guy's so flaky in there. And he was beating Royval in that fight too. He was winning that shit. Even Royval admitted after the fight, "Yeah, I looked like shit. I'm not happy with this performance." In my head, I'm like, "Yeah, you kind of did look like shit. Let's be honest here." I know he comes out of Factory X Muay Thai, which is supposed to be a good striking gym, and there absolutely is some great strikers out of there. But man, I don't rate Royval's striking really at all. Like he's capable. He can hang, I guess, but like he's outmatched bad here by Kai Kara France on the feet. He clearly needs to get Kai Kara France down, but like that's a tough ask, man. Kai Kara France has good takedown defense. Actually, has a 90% takedown defense rate in the UFC, and I mean, even when he did get taken down, I've seen him get taken down before. He gets back up. I think he can get back up against Royval, and I'll be honest here, man. I'm pretty confident in saying this too. Brandon Royval is submission or bust 100% here, man. He's not going to outstrike Kai Kara France. He's not going to knock him out. He's not going to hold him down, in my opinion. He needs that opportunistic sub. He needs that fucking arm bar. He needs that guillotine triangle. And I ain't going to lie. I mean, of course, I'm a little worried about that. Brandon Royval is a very good black belt. It's just I see Kai Kara France being able to stuff, and not only that, I just think it's so much of a mismatch on the feet that it's going to be really hard for Brandon Royval to set up those takedowns, man. I mean, don't be surprised if this guy is, guard pulling in this fight. He's going to be desperate to get it to the mat. He's just so outmatched on the feet, man. Kai Kara France, he's looked really good in the UFC. Good win over Julian Paiva, even though it was close. But, like, Paiva's a fucking beast, man. And then his last one against Tyson Nam, who Tyson Nam's on a nice little run right now, so that just makes that win look all that much better. His only UFC losses against the future title challenger, Brandon Moreno. So I think Kai Kara-France keeps on rolling here. I think it's just too good for Brandon Royval. I'm going to say he wins a 30-27 decision across the board. You're muted.
I love Brandon Moreno, dude. He's going to beat the fuck out of Alex Perez. I think that kid is legit, dude. I really think that he's the future champ, man. I mean, I've been hiding him for a while. But anyways, one more thing I want to say, too. I didn't even say my breakdown with Riddell versus Silva. I just realized that right now.
Yeah.
I'll keep it short. I got Riddell. I think Riddell's a good fighter. I mean, I bet on him versus Mr. 5. I think that he's striking is fucking on a different level. I think the line's a little off. The Silva's no slouch, man. I don't think he's a jobber. The guy is, has a good record. He was beating Yakovlev until he got, caught. But yeah, I think Riddell's just a better striker, and I think that he can keep it on the feet and just kind of, outbox him, man. I mean, his boxing is legit, so I got Riddell. In this fight, man, I think the line's a little off, but I agree. I think the Kai Kara-France is a good striker. I think he's a good fighter. I don't think he's going to be a future champ or anything, but he can definitely win a lot of fights in the division. I want to see him fight Dvorak. Oh my God, that would be a fucking crazy fight. But yeah, he's too technical for Royval, man. Royval's a good fighter, I think. I do think that he's no slouch. Obviously, he has a grappling advantage. He's a legit BJJ black belt. And one thing I like about Royval is he has good kicks. He has good pressure, but he's going to get picked apart on the feet. I mean, Kai Kara-France is a nasty right hand, a good jab. Let's be honest. As much as I like to talk a little crap about Kai Kara-France because he gets in a lot of close fights with Tyson Nam. I still think that, and the Paiva fight too, I still think that he's just a lot better on the feet here, man. I think he has way better boxing, and I think that he's going to win a pretty comfortable decision. But would it surprise me if Royval got the win? No, because, the kid's ground game is legit. So if this fight hits the mat, Kai Kara-France is in trouble. But if he keeps on the feet, he should get a comfortable win. And he has a good chin, too. I mean, we've seen Kai Kara-France get cracked before, and he's tough, dude. So I got Kai Kara-France. Next fight, man, this is oh my God, this fight should be a main event, man. This fight is legit one of the best fights you can make. We got Jan Blachowicz versus Dominic Reyes. This is my second bet of the night, dude. I have not made it yet because I'm waiting on the line right now, but I will be putting 3 units on Jan to get the job done. I see a lot of people out there counting this guy out. This line, first off, is really off, dude. I think it should be a pick'em, to be honest. Reyes is a great fighter, man. He's a prospect. He's huge for the division. He's a good striker. I think that the guy has a great straight left. I think that he can fight going backwards, just as Chris Weidman. He has a good head kick. I mean, he's good, man. You watch his fights in the UFC, dude. I mean, he's a finisher as well. But if you watch Jan Blachowicz, man, I mean, this guy is definitely a pioneer of the sport. This guy has been fighting for a very long time. He's not the same guy that fought Pat Cummings. I mean, he's 7-1 his last 8 fights, and his only loss, he was winning, I thought, in my opinion, but he got reckless and just fought with his hands down and got caught. I mean, he got caught by one of the nastiest finishers in the UFC and one of the best fighters in the division. So I've heard you say some stuff that you compare Thiago Santos to Dominic Reyes. I gotta disagree with that, dude. Thiago Santos and Reyes are 2 totally different fighters, man. Dominic Reyes, man, I mean, he hits like a truck. He has nasty power. He's a finisher for sure, but he's not on the level of Thiago Santos, dude. In this matchup, I got to give Jan the technical advantage. I think he's more technical on the feet. Jan's one of the most technical strikers in the division, dude. Number one, both these guys are big for the division, but Jan's more technical than Reyes. I think Reyes hits harder than him for sure, but I think that that guy's jab, his right hand, his counter striking, dude, is on a different level, man. He's gonna catch Dominic Reyes, man, if you're going in. But anyways, I do think Jan has a ground game too. I don't think Jan is going to go out there and shoot takedowns or anything. I mean, if he does, I would be surprised. But because Dominic Reyes is really good takedown defense. That's one thing about him. Weidman took him down, he got right back up. But if this fight hits the mat for any reason, he gets dropped or anything, Jan is a legit BJJ black belt. I give Dominic Reyes, the power advantage. I give him, he has better movement. He's the better athlete and all that stuff. But the cardio advantage, this is actually one of the big reasons why I'm going with my boy here is I got to give Jan the cardio advantage, man. Dominic Reyes slowed down bad against John Jones. I know it's John Jones, the GOAT and all that, but I mean, after that second round, dude, I mean, his cardio was shot, and that's how John Jones won the fight. He won the last 3 rounds. So, was it a close fight? Yes, but I do think John won the fight. I mean, there was a judge that scored that fight 4-1 for Reyes. Do I agree with that? Or 4-1 for Jones? No, but I do think that Jones won the decision, and I see a lot of people, including you, saying that Reyes won that fight. I don't think so, dude. I just rewatched it. I thought John Jones won that fight, and I don't think Reyes won. I mean, it was close, yeah, but I mean, people are sleeping on Jan, dude. This guy's one of the best fighters in the division, man, and he's been on a very nice run. He went 5 rounds with Susan. His cardio looked good. I mean, his cardio, dude, is definitely something that's, one of his weaknesses in the past, and he's definitely improved. I mean, maybe he has a nice doctor or what, but another thing too is a great straight left. I just think that he has a lot of weapons on the feet, and a lot of people are counting out Dominic Reyes, or a lot of people are counting out Jan here. Dominic Raceman, who is he knocked out in UFC? Chris Weidman, I mean, the guy that has the worst chin in the division. The OSP fight, I mean, that was not a KO. It was a decision. Look it up. And then he knocked out Joaquin Christensen and stuff. I mean, he had a very close fight with Volkan. Jan has a really good chin. He's been knocked out, once? One time. Against who? Thiago Santos. So I think it's going to be really tough for Reyes to knock out Jan. If he doesn't knock out Jan early, I think that Jan's just going to get the win, man. I think that Jan has the better cardio. And honestly, I don't think Jan's going to win a decision. I think he can win a decision in his scorecards, but I think Jan's going to knock him out, dude. I really think that the counter-striking to Jan, he's going to catch him, dude. So I got Jan by a 3rd-round TKO. I think Dominic Reyes is going to fight with his hands down. He's going to, be aggressive and get knocked out, dude. And this is a wake-up call, Dominic Reyes, man. The guy's too cocky. I like the guys from SoCal, but it's a tough fight for him, man. It really is, man. I mean, Jan is a fucking tough matchup, man, for a lot of people. And to beat Jan, in my opinion, you got to take this guy down. That's his weakness in the past. And Jan does not have to worry about that here, dude. Jan's going to look good here. Jan Blachowicz by KO.
I mean, does he have to take him down? Jan got KO'd in his last loss.
Like Thiago Santos is a fucking knockout artist, bro. I mean, Dominic Reyes has finishes for sure, but
I mean, Dominic Reyes is a knockout artist. I mean, he knocked out Weidman, and you say he won a decision over OSP. Yeah, he did, but I mean, watch the last 10 seconds of that fight. He knocked out OSP. He also knocked out Jared Cannonier. I know he's a middleweight, but still, I mean, Jan Blachowicz didn't knock out fucking Jared Cannonier when they fought. And I'll be honest, bro, looking at the line, plus 240. It is enticing. I don't blame you. I just think you're way too confident in Jan here. Dominic Reyes is a great fighter, man, and he's so early in his MMA career too. He's getting better every fight, man. I mean, he was plus 350 or some shit against John Jones. If they rematched, he wouldn't be plus 350 this time. I mean, the guy is getting better every fight. Easily won the first 2 rounds against John Jones, in my opinion. He did slow down. That 3rd round was really close. I did give John rounds 3 through 5. I mean, if you look at the stats, though, Dominic Reyes actually outstruck him in rounds 1, 2, and 3. Just John made it a little closer. And you say he slowed down, but yeah, he did. But I think that's credit to John Jones for just having much better cardio, man. And he was able to figure out Reyes, and he was able to take over. And yeah, I guess if I had to say if anybody had a cardio advantage in this fight, it would be Jan, but I don't think it's fucking significant or anything. I think Jan's most significant advantage in this fight is actually BJJ, but I mean, he's not a wrestler. He's not going to take down Reyes. I mean, I just don't think this fight's going to hit the mat unless somebody gets dropped or something like that. So I don't know, man. And that's another thing I'll say. I don't know if Jan's going to come out here and KO Dominic Reyes, bro. Dominic Reyes can eat a fucking shot. Some of the strikes that were landed in that Reyes-Jones fight, I came away from that thinking, holy shit, John Jones and Dominic Reyes both have insane shins. I mean, both guys can take a shot for sure. Now, Jan Blachowicz, yeah, he can take a shot too. I know he was knocked out by Thiago Santos. I don't think Dominic Reyes hits quite as hard as him, but let's be honest. The last time Jan Blachowicz fought a guy who went 50-50 with John Jones, he got knocked out. I think that's gonna be what happens here. I think Dominic Reyes is just, that straight left, that head kick. I think he's gonna land either of those, big and put Jan down. If Jan happens to survive, that's cool. We can win a decision too. I think Dominic Reyes is definitely the rightful favorite. And when he was like minus 230, minus 240, I'm thinking, yeah, that's probably about right. But even more money's coming in on him. And I'm one of the biggest Dominic Reyes fans out there. I mean, I kind of disagree with him going all the way up to minus 280. So if Justin's going to bet Jan at plus 240 or better, I don't hate it, but I'm going to go with Dominic Reyes here. I think he knocks out Jan, and I think he's the long reigning light heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I see a lot of people in the chat talking about Reyes by KO. That actually makes me more confident that I'm going against the grain because I like that, man. I see people saying Gan, whatever, Jan, it doesn't matter, man. I think that he's a great fighter, and I think both these guys are good fighters, but the line's off. I think people are sleeping on the striking. People act like Jan doesn't have knockout power, dude. I mean, his last 3 wins are by fucking finish, dude. So, or 3 of his last 4.
Bro, who's he knocking out, though? He's knocking out the chinniest guys of all time.
Who is Dominic Reyes knocked out, bro? The same thing. Who was he knocked out? You're fucking the same shit. Why did me, bro? Like, oh my god.
He knocked out OSP. There's been plenty of prospects who weren't able to knock out OSP. Alonzo Menafield being the most recent one. He knocked out Cannonier, who, yeah,
he 85er.
Okay, Jan wasn't able to knock him out.
I mean, Jan still fucking got a good win, and he fucking dropped him too. So
he did. He was a big dog there too, I think.
He was, but
I think we even bet him there.
I don't even remember. I think I bet Camur, actually, to be honest. But yeah, but I don't know. I just don't agree with the reasoning you're saying about we went 50-50 with Jones, and that's why he's going to knock out Jan. I mean, that wasn't 50-50, number 1. Number 2, I don't agree with that reason. Number 3, he didn't knock out OSP. Number 4, he only has 3 knockouts in the UFC against a middleweight. I mean, a washed-up fucking no-chin middleweight. And Joaquin Christensen, who fucking serves frozen yogurt at the fucking ice cream place right next to my fucking apartment. So, I mean, yeah, he has knockouts, like 7 or 8 knockouts, but I mean, this isn't Thiago Santos, dude. I mean, Thiago Santos is a finisher and always moves by finish, and he got caught against Thiago Santos. Jan has a really good chin, and people are acting like Reyes is going to go out there and starch him. I think Reyes' best chance is to starch him early in the first couple of rounds. If he doesn't, I think Jan's going to take over, man. I really do. But I think Jan can knock him out too in the first 2 rounds. People are acting like Dominic Reyes is the better striker and all this stuff. Like, he has more power for sure. He has great movement. But I don't think he's more technical than Jan. And everyone in the chat right now is fucking saying that Reyes is more technical. I mean, you guys even watching tape? I mean, Reyes is a sniper. He has a great straight left and a great head kick, but he's not more technical than Jan.
I mean, bro, he outstruck John Jones for 2 rounds. He arguably won the third round, and you're talking about him slowing down. Okay, he arguably won the 3rd round against John Jones. He did win the 3rd round against OSP. He did win the 3rd round against Volkan Oezdemir. Like, I mean, bro, yeah, I agree that Jan has the cardio advantage, but, like, you can't be surprised if Dominic Reyes wins the first 3 rounds.
I mean, he won the 3rd round against Volkan, who has no cardio, and he won the 3rd round against OSP, always gasses out. So, I mean, this isn't – Jan has way better cardio than that, man. So, I just think people are sleeping on him. There just be a pick on, bro. I really should. I mean –
Yeah, I'm not betting Reyes here at minus 280, so I wish you luck, man. But I don't know, man. I think you might learn a little something.
I don't think so. I think Jan's going to shock the world. So, next fight, we got Izzy Salabender versus Paulo Costa. Who you got?
Man, holy shit. I can't believe we're getting this fight after Dominic Reyes and Jan Blachowicz. We're in for a fucking treat, bro. I love the chemistry that these 2 guys have with each other. Like, they do a good job of shit-talking and making headlines and going at each other. But, like, you can tell these 2 actually really have respect for each other and like each other a lot. It's a great fight, bro. Israel Adesanya, I mean, it's pretty amazing what he did. He came into the UFC, like, I don't even think he's been in the UFC for 2 years, right? Like, maybe 2.5 years. That debut against Rob Wilkinson, where he actually got taken down in that fight. And then he had the sketchy split decision against Marvin Vettori. But ever since then, man, I mean, completely shutting out Brad Tavares, knocking out Brunson, beating the legend Anderson Silva, the fight of the ever against Kelvin Gastelum, smoked Robert Whittaker, definitely won that decision against Yoel Romero last fight. Dude, anybody that tries to say Yoel Romero won that fight, holy shit. I mean, do you know what you're watching? Izzy's the man. He's the champ for a reason. But Paulo Costa, bro, this guy, wow. I mean, this guy's another guy who, I mean, he's been in the UFC a little longer, I think. 2017. He definitely came in with a boom too. He knocked out a bunch of guys, including the former champion Johnny Hendricks. And then that performance against Uriah Hall was really good, man. I mean, the way he was ripping to the body there, the walked him down. I mean, okay, the thing in the Yoel Romero fight, like amazing decision win there against a super dangerous guy, Yoel Romero. Okay, the thing I like so much about Paulo Costa, man, I mean, the guy's a machine. Let's be honest. He's one of the, the biggest, hardest hitting strikers in the division, and he comes forward. He has a chin of his own. He can take a shot. It's not just power. He has technique behind him. He has cardio too. For a guy with all those muscles, the guy can fucking go for sure. I don't think he's gonna have any problems going 5 rounds here with Adesanya if that's what eventually happens. Plus 150, man. I mean, obviously, it's not obvious to some people, but it's obvious to me. In a fight like this, the plus 150 is the side you really got to look on. And thinking about how much of a chance that Paulo Costa has here against Israel Adesanya, I mean, I'll be honest, guys. I think I do give him a better chance than the plus 150 indicates. Adesanya is the more technical striker and most likely is going to get off on a lot of counter shots because Paulo Costa is going to go forward and give him that opportunities. But man, if Adesanya does not knock out Paulo Costa in like the first or second round, I just think he's going to really, I don't want to say wear him out. I can't really think of the word I'm looking for, but I just think a lot of the shots that Paulo Costa hits on Adesanya is just it's kind of going to break him down, man. I mean, just the way he rips to the body, I think he's going to land some leg kicks here. He's going to kick those, he calls them the skinny legs. He's going to land some big power on that chin, too. We've seen Adesanya rocked. I mean, the Kelvin Gastelum fight, I don't even got to say it. He was wobbling all over the place there. And I know Kelvin's a great boxer, amazing fighter, but I think Paulo Costa can replicate some of that, bro. Adesanya is an amazing fighter, but I don't think he's flawless in this special, like, God sent from the heavens like some people think he is. Like, he can be beat, man. And in my opinion, this is the toughest matchup in the division for him. Paulo Costa has a very live chance, in my opinion, here. He can knock out Adesanya. Adesanya has been knocked out before, not in MMA, but he has been knocked out in kickboxing. And I think, like I said, man, Paulo Costa can come in here. He can put on a pace and keep up with it, man. So, like, man, the people that are like writing off his cardio and say he can't win a decision, like, I just disagree with that so much, bro. Like, that 3-round war against Yoel Romero, like, yeah, he was tired. He wasn't even that tired. Like, he looked like a guy that could go 2 more rounds, man. And like that plus 150, bro. Like, I'll be honest, I do think, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and disrespect Adesanya. He has a great chance. I'd even say he's probably the rightful favorite here, man. It's just personally, I'd cap it more like Israel minus 120, Paulo plus 100. So the value I'm getting, I like it. I haven't done it yet, but guys, I'm going to be betting Paulo Costa, and I know that's probably going to be an unpopular bet, but hey, let's get it. I keep winning on this guy. I think I got around the similar line on Paulo in the Yoel Romero fight. I just think he keeps rolling here. I think he dethrones Adesanya, and then I think these guys are probably going to end up having like a trilogy of fights. I think far and away these are the 2 best middleweights in the world, and if you're going to give me plus 150 on one of them, let's fucking go.
Yeah, man. It's a great fight, dude. I do think that Costa's live. I think Costa's one of the best fighters in the division. Personally, man, I just think that this isn't the best matchup for him. I think that Izzy's just too technical for him. He's too fast. His movement's too good. Speed advantage. Pasta's kind of pasta. I just said pasta. I'm hungry. Costa's kind of slow, man. And I mean, that's not good to go against a guy like Stylebender. I mean, yeah, Costa legit has fucking power in his hands, and he has great pressure. I thought that the Yoel fight was the right nod. He won that fight. I thought that he looked really good. And I think Izzy Stylebender is just one of the best strikers in the sport, bro. He might be the best striker in the UFC. I mean, the guy's striking's legit. He can strike going backwards. His movement, his cardio. I mean, big cardio advantage here. Costa's slowed down really bad versus Ewell, and I think that this fight goes late. It's all Izzy. I mean, can Costa get a first round finish? Yeah. I mean, Izzy can get hit for sure, but Izzy does not really get hit that much, let's be honest. And we've seen him get dropped. This guy's tough, dude. So I do think Izzy's going to get the job done. I'm not playing it, but I wish you the best of luck on Costa. I think he's alive, man. Costa's one of the best fighters in the division, dude. I mean, in my opinion, Costa's the second best fighter in the division. So, I mean, this is the fight to make, and Costa can definitely get it done. So, I wish you luck, but I think Izzy's just going to win a decision. So yeah, those are the fights for plays real quick. I have a bet on William Knight at plus 150, 3 units. I will be betting Jan, and I will be putting 3 units on him. So that's a big statement. I'm sure a lot of people out there are not going to be picking Jan. I will be betting him, and I might be betting Klein too. I mean, I really messed up on the line, so I definitely don't want to bet juice on him. He's still plus 100 at Red Rock, but if this line gets worse, I'm not going to be playing him. What about you?
Yeah, man. In my opinion, this is a very good card for betting, and this is the most I've had risked in over a month, actually. I got 3 plays right now. I got the parlay of Kai Kara France and Juan Espino, 3 units for minus 105. I got 3 units on Zubara Tukihugov, minus 112. I got 3 units on Ludovic Klein, plus 100. And I completely plan on putting probably 2 units on Paulo Costa at above plus 150 odds. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. We'll be back next week. Cannot wait for next week's good card too. And let us know in the comments below who you guys got, and for football and stuff you guys want to go Sunday. So I wish I would have went on Klein before everyone saw the tape, because he was plus 140, and I mean a really good bet, and everyone's teamed him. So I don't really want to bet juice. But all right, guys. Anything else you want to say?
No, man. I'm just so fucking stoked for Saturday. That's about it.
Me too, man. All right, guys. Peace out.